Hello and thank you for watching Last Week in Forza, the news show that is all things news and updates from the Forza community. My name is Merginator, your host, GTR Merginator, and let's get started with these updates. Now, I didn't get anything done last week, and I'm late again this week. If you follow me on Twitter, you kind of know that I went through a little hectic tragedy there. I will recover from it. Thank you for all your support. I love you guys. And so I missed last week. There really wasn't much anyways. But this past week, it was quite busy with Forza. They released the LEGO expansion for Forza Horizon 4. And yeah, it's either hit or miss. You either love it or hate it. I saw a little bit of Super GT's stream, and he said, you know, it's kind of more of the same, just in the graphical layout of LEGO. And if you like Forza Horizon, you're gonna like it. If you're on the fence with Forza Horizon, you're not gonna really appreciate LEGO, I guess. And if you already dislike Horizon, you're not gonna like Horizon just based off this one DLC. So there is that. With that said though, Horizon 4 just hit 10 million players. Now I don't know if that's 10 million people have played the game total, or if there's 10 million concurrent people playing Forza Horizon 4 right now. If so, that is some crazy World of Warcraft numbers. That's a lot of people playing Forza Horizon 4. So yeah, if I put out a Forza Horizon 4 video, I better get at least 1 million views. So, let's get on to our next update, which is the LMAN Esports Super Finale. Now, it was held this past weekend, a total of 24 hours of racing through 9 races. A couple of these races were just exhilarating. Some of them kind of petered off, and it was just who can survive the endurance race. But it was super freaking fun. I really liked the production. I really think everything went well. The casters were great. I like how if they had people sitting there marshalling, they were adjudicating the thing live, and if somebody caused a wreck on lap 1, maybe about 3 laps later, they would say, okay, we'll use an example. Force 1 has a 10-second stop-and-go penalty. Now, it's kind of equivalent to a drive-through penalty through the pit, but since Forza Motorsport 7 pits are a little weird and inconsistent, they would just stop at the start-finish line, wait 10 seconds, and then go. I've seen this a couple times. There was a 5-second penalty and a 10-second penalty, and it was really cool. I liked that. I'm also a big fan of them using wheels. I think that really added a different kind of aspect to things, and I really liked how they did it. The whole weekend, the whole racing stream was really good. I really enjoyed it. I watched the stream that was broadcasted on the FIA WEC YouTube channel, and that's where I watched it the whole weekend. It was a 24-hour stream, and I think I maybe watched 12 hours of it because I had to work and, of course, sleep. But everything that I watched was super great. I loved it. Very little downtime in between races. I think maybe a 15-20 minute break, maybe. The interviews were great. The interviewers were impeccable. For this being the very first season of the FIA WEC Le Mans Esports season, yeah, I think they did a really good job. It was all professionally done. I really liked it. I do have some qualms, some things that irritated me about the weekend as well, and I'll share them with you here in just a moment. So, the only things I could think of to improve the Le Mans Esports season experience as a viewer would be the channel that's streaming it on YouTube needs to hire a mod who can utilize the Nightbot to link to an FAQ about what game this is, which a lot of people were asking what game they were playing, even though it says it in the description. So if people would just at least read the description before asking dumb questions, then that would help that. But an FAQ linking to what kind of game they're playing, what equipment they're using, how many races. It would be nice to see the teams with the different drivers of each team. I think that would be good. And that is on the FIA WEC side of things. Now on the Forza Motorsport side of things, they really desperately need to update their camera system. I saw a lot of people complaining in chat about how awful the camera angles were and how you really couldn't see the battles, you really couldn't see the racing due to the camera just focusing on a single car and being super close up, which I agree with. These have been the same camera angles since Forza Motorsport 5, I believe. And it's more of a cinematic, dramatic type of camera angle where it really doesn't make sense. P-Cars 2 and iRacing have a spectacular spectator broadcasting thing where the camera focuses on the car, sure, but it's not so zoomed in and it kind of follows it around a corner. Then it goes to a different camera and it's like you're watching the thing broadcast on live television, and it's done really well. But again, a lot of people complained about that, and some people discussed feeling sick because of how often the camera changed, or just the kind of the movement of the camera. So that is on Forza, that is on Turn 10, so if you guys would update that and fix that. Those are the only two things I can think of to update things. You would have to talk to the drivers if maybe they had issues with things, because I wasn't there. So as a viewer though, I would just update the camera system and make sure there's a mod, because there was some weird pornographic linkage happening from a bot during the race, and I kept blocking them, but it kept popping up. So if they would just moderate their channel a little bit better, that would help. Now let's see who won the various races. Now there was 9 races total that actually added up to being just over 20 hours total of racing, which is just gnarly. I can't believe this. There was one team that was missing a person. Joda Commando, the #1 seed out of everything pretty much, couldn't make it, unfortunately, which is a shame because I was cheering him on ever since the thing was announced last year. So it was a shame to see that he couldn't make it. So Harmonic and Craviator had to 2-man the whole thing, and so they at least raced 10 to 12 hours, which is just crazy. So race 1, I don't have the car and track layout, but I do have the races and who won. In race 1, Mad Motorsport won that one. Race number 2, Mad Motorsport also won that. Race number 3, Kitty Krew won that race. Race number 4, Keep It Simple won, and they lapped the entire field. That was insane. That was a really fun race to watch. Race number 5, Mad Motorsport won that one again, so that's 3 wins under their belt. 6, Veloce Esports won. Race number 7, Mad Motorsport won yet again, making that 4 wins in a row. So you would think that Mad Motorsport would come out on top with all these wins. The 8th race, Kitty Krew won, and the 9th race, Veloce Esports won yet again. So just by that right there, Mad Motorsport had 4 wins out of the 9 races. Veloce had 2 wins, and Kitty Krew had 2 wins under their belt as well. But the final, I'm sure you've already seen it already, so I'm not spoiling anything, but if you haven't seen it yet, the Le Mans Esports Super Finale results, the grand champions was Veloce Esports, and that consisted of Davey Skills, or Dave, Virus, and James. And second place was Baguette Racing, who just drove really good all 9 races. Didn't ever catch a win, but I'm pretty sure they were on the podium, or at least top 5 on every single race. Baguette Racing was Liège, Asics, and Chris. And third place, rounding out the podium, was Kitty Krew, which was one of the teams I was definitely cheering on, and that is Raceboy77, Force One, and Zoom. And that was your top 3 for the Le Mans Esports. What teams were you cheering on? Are you happy with who won? Are you happy with who got on the podium? Again, I can't wait for Season 2. It was a really unique experience. I was more amped to watch the esports than I was the real thing. Don't get me wrong, I still watched probably a third of the actual race. But this proves a lot right here. The guys actually celebrating on the real podium yet again. They did that 2 years ago as well, when Forza RC was hosting that one. But Le Mans really stepped it up. This is great for Forza. This is great to have Forza's name on esports, and I am excited to see what happens next year. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.